Today, we delve into a chapter of history so bizarre, so unsettling, that it has echoed through the centuries. A chilling reminder of the depths of human ambition and the fragility of power. We speak of the Cadaver Synod, a trial unlike any other. A trial not of the living, but of the dead. Prepare yourselves, for the story you are about to hear is not for the faint of heart. In the year 897, Rome witnessed an event so shocking and so unbelievable that even today, more than 1,000 years later, people still struggle to understand how it truly happened. Historians call it the Cadaver Synod, and it remains one of the darkest and strangest moments in church history.
Formosus, you will pay for all you did.
To understand this story, we start with a man named Pope Formosus. Formosus was a respected church leader in his time, but he also lived in a period filled with political rivalry, powerful families fighting for influence, and leaders who were willing to go to any length to secure their position. During his rule, Formosus made decisions that angered powerful groups. He tried to balance politics and faith, but as you can imagine, that was almost impossible in a city like Rome. Eventually, Formosus died. He was buried respectfully, as every pope before him. For most people, that should have been the end of his story. But the real story was only beginning. A new pope came to power, Stephen VI. Stephen did not just dislike Formosus. He hated him. He blamed Formosus for political problems, for church divisions, and even for personal struggles he faced as pope. And instead of letting the past rest, Stephen allowed his anger to grow into something larger, something darker. Then came the moment that changed everything. Pope Stephen made a decision that no one had ever imagined possible. He ordered Formosus' grave to be opened and his body to be taken out. Imagine the shock. Imagine the whispers across the city. A pope ordering the corpse of another pope to be exhumed? It sounded like madness, but it only got worse. Stephen commanded that the decaying body be dressed again in full papal robes. The crown, the vestments, the gloves, the ring. Then he ordered that the corpse be seated upright in a courtroom, on a grand throne, as if Formosus were still alive. And then he put the dead man on trial. Witnesses were brought in. Bishops took their seats, trying to hide their fear and confusion. A deacon was assigned to speak for Formosus, answering questions on behalf of a body that had been dead for months. The entire room smelled of decay. The atmosphere must have been cold, tense, almost unreal. Stephen shouted accusations. He asked why Formosus had taken the papacy. He asked why he had made certain political moves. And every person in that courtroom watched, stunned, as a living pope argued with a dead one. Of course, the trial ended exactly how Stephen wanted. Formosus was declared guilty. His papal clothes were ripped off. The fingers he used for blessing people were cut away. And then his body was dragged out and thrown into the Tiber River like trash. But Rome did not stay silent. People were shocked, afraid, angry. They whispered about curses. They whispered about madness in the church. Soon, the people turned against Stephen. The anger rose like a wave through the city. Within months, Stephen was arrested. Not long after, he died in prison under strange and violent circumstances. Later popes quietly tried to repair the damage. They canceled the trial, restored Formosus' honor, and even returned his body to a proper burial. But no matter what they tried, they could not erase what had happened, because the Cadaver Synod had already entered history as one of the most disturbing moments of human rivalry and pride. It shows us how far people can go when driven by fear, anger, and the desire for power. It shows us that history is not always noble or holy. Sometimes it is shocking. Sometimes it is painful. And sometimes it leaves us with stories that sound like they came from a nightmare, but are completely true. That is the Cadaver Synod, a reminder that even powerful leaders can lose themselves, and even the dead are not always safe from the living.